Hi, once again, and welcome to Life in Isolation. Today, I am joined by Diana Kamande from the Come Together Widows and Orphans organization, and she will be telling us some of the effects of, the coronavirus pandemic on widows. Widows are unsupported. They have been ignored. They already have their plight, and the coronavirus pandemic has increased their troubles. Welcome, Diana, to Life in Isolation.
Thank you so much, NAJMA. I'm so glad to join you. And I'm so glad that we are putting this issue into the limelight. Mm-hmm. This is an issue that has been forgotten. And this is an issue that anytime we bring it out to the limelight, people would pick it up and try to run away with it. And then all of a sudden, then everybody becomes silent.
And to take you back to the Widows Bill, just tell me what it entails.
The Widows Bill entails a lot of it is to do with rights. You know, once a woman has been widowed, she is always the first suspect that she killed her husband. And this is something that has become a thorn in the flesh of so many widows. NAJMA, I want to tell you, even the widows who have lost their husbands to COVID, they have been suspected to have killed their husband. Yet, you cannot kill the father of your children, surely. This is somebody that you need so that you can move to the next step of life together. You need their father. And this is one of the things that we want to come out clear. And it has been our request that the way the president gave a declaration that FGM should end by 2022, this is why we need a policy for widows to ensure that the president can also do a declaration that in the near future, or starting from that time that we have a law in place, an act of parliament protecting widows, then widows will not be accused to have killed their husbands. The harmful cultural traditional practices have been outlawed.
Yes.
We have an act on its own, but it is not being implemented. And this is where now we are saying we keep on creating new laws in our country, but implementation is a problem. But there are so many gaps. We find these things are still happening in secret. Like during this time of COVID, harmful cultural and traditional practices continued to happen in different parts of this country. Then the other thing that we want outlawed and we need a correction, if you happen to go and go through the Protection Against Domestic Violence Bill, I think it's either number 10 or 11, I cannot remember very well, but it speaks about wife inheritance has been outlawed. And this is something I was challenging even FIDA the other day. Whose wife will be inherited? Because that clause reads, wife inheritance has been outlawed. And this is so good. A wife is somebody who is already married. Which husband will agree the wife to be inherited? So I told FIDA, this is something that I think it should not have been passed into law before that part read widow inheritance. It is a widow who is inherited, not somebody's wife. So these are some of the things that we are looking forward to. And also the issue to do with matrimonial property. This is something that we already have an act on the same, Marriage and Matrimonial Property Act. But looking into it deeply, we still found several gaps, especially in where the widow, or rather the man, the deceased, had so many wives, like 5 wives. Now, when you go to court, you find maybe the family of the husband wants to take sides and remain with the first woman. So you find this matrimonial property is not well distributed. Whereas all these women, they have got a right to inherit from this man, and especially the children who are born in a polygamous family, and they never chose to be born in a polygamous family. The widow bill, when the widow's bill becomes an act of parliament, then we will be very sure that the gender gaps that have always led to widow abuse will no longer exist. And even if they exist, this widow has got power. She can go to court, and she can, or a widow's, the lawyer maybe representing the widow will have power to represent this widow, knowing that he can quote an act of parliament protecting the widows directly. So this is the reason as to why we say the widows bill must be tabled to parliament, and we must have this act of parliament protecting the widows in place as soon as possible.
In your organization, you also cater for orphans. Tell
Yes,
me about that.
The orphans that we deal with are the orphans that we get once our widows also happen to die. So we deal with orphans who are children of our widows in our various registered groups.
Mm-hmm.
So this is where now we ensure that we fulfill SDG 4, the Sustainable Development Goal number 4, about education. So we ensure as much as the departed widow could have loved her children to get good and quality education. Mm-hmm. We work in partnership with our friends. We highlight these issues everywhere on mainstream media, social media, and we look for help. We have partnered with Ministry of Education in this. We have partnered with members of parliament because they are the custodians of the Constituency Development Fund, which has bursary. And we have also partnered with county government.
Thank you very much, Dana. Just before I let you go, maybe you could just tell us the public's attitude towards the widows and how we can change that moving forward.
Okay, the public attitude towards the widows, when we were starting this job, or rather this organization, the public attitude was so wrong. But nowadays, I can tell you, the public attitude has started to change. Only a few people who still believe that women don't have rights, very few communities. But I can tell you nowadays, and I want to applaud especially the county commissioners. Anytime the county commissioners are aware that we are going to speak to widows in different counties, they have really embraced the issue. And they are the ones now who are telling the members of the community, it is important to live with our widows because they are our mothers, they are our aunties, they are our sisters, because death is inevitable. Anybody can die anytime. And to those people, members of the public and the society at large, it is so wrong to continue judging women harshly. And especially when this woman is still in loss and grief. You are judging her harshly, forgetting this woman has got feelings. This woman has got children. This woman is somebody's child. So when you are hurting this widow, you're not only hurting her, you're hurting her children, you're hurting the parents, if she has parents, and you're hurting her family members.
Absolutely. Anything else you'd like to add before you end up, Diana?
Yeah, I'll just to wrap up with the same words that the former Secretary General for UN, Ban Ki-moon, said, no woman should ever lose her property, her rights, her dignity because she lost her husband.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Diana Kamande, on Life in Isolations. We will keep these conversations going so that we can ensure that in the near future, the Widows Bill is tabled in Parliament and we stop some of these harmful practices and the women get their rights. Thank you very much. This has been Life in Isolation. Have a good one.